All right, race fans, here we go. Talladega night here tonight. Ought to be a good one here for the Spartan Simracing League. And we got our Fast Five, first race of the Fast Five. So you're going to see those guys. And another thing, if you look over at the side ticker, it's the guys that will be highlighted in green. You'll be able to see which ones are which throughout the entire race. Qualifying underway. Well, put this thing on pole here tonight, man, Wes.
I mean, right now as it's looking like Duncan. Everybody's completed their laps, though. I think this is just them running some extra. So
I'm with you.
Yeah, I think everybody's just running the extra. So Duncan won the pole, it seems. Sumter in second, the highest out of the Fast Five.
Right now, you're right, man. Duncan right there at the top, man. Sumter, he's the highest on the Fast Five, starting in second. But it's like I always talk about with qualifying on the plate races. I think it's more just bragging rights than anything, because I've seen guys win from pole, middle, back, 2 laps down on pit road. I've just seen all kinds of wild things here. Typical plate style racing. You got to be there at the end to win it. Try to avoid the big one. That's going to be the biggest thing.
Yeah, plate racing, I agree with you. The pole position is just bragging rights. You can look at tonight, or today actually, what happened with the IRL Cup Series. Pole Center didn't win. Granted, being up in the front, you can kind of try to at least block the lanes a little bit. Granted, here they do have a little bit of rule of block that we've got now. But, hey, I want to see, honestly, one of these guys starting maybe last win the race. I think that would be an amazing shot.
Well, you bring that up, too, and that's something that we'll probably see throughout the race. Some guys have a lot of, even in real life, they have those strategies where some love staying out front. And with this being an open setup, too, that's another characteristic that you don't see a lot of in league racing. So they might have their setup to where that they feel better out front, up top or whatnot, as opposed to some guys like to go back in that back, like you just said. Maybe try to avoid the big void or wreck or something. So, yeah, I mean, I think we're going to see variable strategies throughout this race. And that baby goat out there that says, go 0-0. So what's the 0-0? Give me a name out there, goat. Sometimes names help me faster enough. Problem is that sometimes they might have a custom number and it don't show up right.
Chuck Van Shack, or I don't know that last name. That's going to be one we got to work on.
Oh, Charles Van Short. Van Scoit. I know him. Charles Van Scoit. Yeah.
Hey. All right.
He runs on the league on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I do. Wow. Charles Van Scoit. I got you. Let me see if I make sure I'm getting all the other ones. Paul Macheski.
Yep.
Brute Smucker. I still can't going to get that girl, but hey.
Brute Smucker.
That's about as close as I'm gonna get there. I'm sorry, Dylan. Brute Smucker, man. That's about as close as we're gonna get. Jorgensen, Hammonds, Ginningsman. I think I got it down pat now. I think we're good.
Yep.
I think we're good.
Just think about good old Speed and Butterfingers from Carolina.
There you go. Oh yeah. All right. Well, a little warm up here. Guys, get out here, get the drivers meeting and so forth. And like you said, I don't get really wrapped up a lot on the rules unless sometimes we see something wild on the track, we might reference back to it. But there are some rule changes these guys are going to have to look at as opposed to last week. Because look, I'm not race control. You're not race control. We're up here to bring the excitement, the thrill of what's going on the track. I know that the race control and the admin's been pulling their hair out. I know the last couple of weeks have been kind of rough, a little bit. But it's still plate racing, though. And anything can happen. It's usually, I always say, it's not if, it's when the big one's going to happen. Yeah, I mean, it's still plate racing.
It's plate racing. There's going to be wanting to send blocks. I think it's just more so the aggressive blocks they're talking about, where there's clearly a run and they're going to come at you too fast. But yeah, it's more on the admin side of that. We're just going to commentate how we see it the way we've been doing it.
Oh, yeah. It ought to be a solid, stellar one here. You know, like I say, going to be a long one. These guys are going to have to just be patient. You know, and that's the key to being patient. Make it to the end.
To the end, I agree. We always talk about Daytona and Talladega. There's always the threat of the big one. What exactly is the big one? Well, it's a wreck where about half the field gets taken out of the race. And you tend to see it a lot here at the plate tracks because everybody's right on top of each other. You're 2, 3, maybe 4 wide at points. And staying clear of that, one way is be in front of it. Another one is to be so far behind it that you have time to dodge and set your car up where there's not going to be a car spinning in your way.
Absolutely. Right now, a little bit of a tandem style drafting. You know, another thing with these cars, you know, it all depends on how they have them set up. You know, some guys might be better men at pulling, some might be better at pushing. You know, obviously I always talk about textbook drafting being like a hood, half a hood off of one another, instead of having your nose tucked up underneath, which, you know, 10 to go, 5 to go, that's what you love. And I guess you could see that maybe throughout the race if you wanted to. You know, obviously you got to keep those temperatures low. You got to worry about that car being lower up.
Yeah, if they do get singled out here, single file line, you're gonna see cars. You'll see them peek out, poke their nose out just to get air onto that engine. Here you see a lot of overheating just because of the fact that you are so close, tightly packed with the car in front and even the car behind that the draft's just going directly over top of your hood. There's none of the airflow getting down to the nose where you've got the vents.
Absolutely. Kind of these 4 right there, you see them bobbing and weaving out a little bit right there. That's kind of what you was talking about with the air. But even though the 2 right there in the back's what I call like just kind of just patient style draft racing, a little bit off, no need to press the issue, kind of ride. And that's what you're going to see. I mean, got to be there to the end. Want to get into trouble, kind of ride, don't want to make some wild move, stuff up there, man, a wreck.
Yeah, it really is a thing of beauty, at least whenever I look at it. But my question is, so there's always the talk of high lane versus the low lane here. I haven't ran in a pack with cup cars for Talladega yet. It's not something I've done in my spare time, mainly for the fact that I ain't that high of a safety rating or iRating to do so yet in open lobbies. But based on what you've seen a lot more than me. Is it better to be single car up top or down low?
You talking about with nobody helping on your draft, or you talking about just being on the bottom of the
single
top
line? Single line all the way across.
I'm gonna now in open setups it's a little different, but let's say in a fixed style setup, I feel like the low line is probably your better line to go. Everybody kind of tends to want to go back to the low line. Not to say that the high line can't move. I think you need a little more help. Now with an open setup like what we have here, again, that's going to put it back to the setup, okay? And there's so many variables there. I think the outside lane could be a valuable place to go. Now, me personally, I prefer outside. And I've talked about this a couple times as to why I like outside. And we're right along here with Latham. When you see going into the turn, you can see ahead of you. And you can see, obviously the apron, you can see everything. As opposed to like right here where you're on the bottom, you're tucked up behind. All you see is that guy's big butt right there in the back of the car, basically. Picture that. We're talking here. If I can get, well, kind of right here with Henry. If he was closed up on the back end of that car right there behind him, going in the inside, you would not be able to see the apron. and you maybe tend to sometimes you could accidentally clip that apron. You've seen many times clip the apron could upset the car here. So that's why I don't prefer the inside lane. As far as it being faster, I think they're even in an open setup. Fixed setup though, that's a whole different ballgame.
I got you. I understand now, but isn't this a show we got a little bit pre-race? We got some 3-wide action from these boys.
That's what we're kind of getting out. What we're going to see here, and again, I go back to Wes. I like calling it textbook style drafting. You're about a hood, half a hood off. You know, you're not. You might close the gap a little bit, but then you back off a little bit. Obviously, you don't want to do a lot of bump drafting in the turns this early in the race because you know and I know, man, bump drafting in those areas, you could send the guy sailing real quick. I mean, that's another thing we saw. I think it was back at Daytona, I believe it was. We saw a lot of these cars getting very loose. And the only way to really counter that is obviously tighten the car. You see it right there. Perfect example. Yeah.
I think that was just a push gone wrong.
That's what I'm saying. So, and it can happen real quick here. No, got to be patient. Include our warm up. We're going to get to the grid here. Let's look at the grid. Let's show them up here real quick. The man out front is going to be old Jonathan Duncan. Going to put it out front for tonight's race. Got right behind him Jeremy Sumter. You got David Salter going to be starting in third. Jurgensen going to start there in the fourth. Main's up in fifth. We got Remy starting in sixth. Genningsman starting there in seventh. Hammond starting in eighth. Phillips going to start in the ninth. We got Vincent up in the 10th. Holmacheski starting there in 11th. Westwood in 12th. 13th place spot here. We got Dozak. I hope I said it right. Starting in 13th. Doziak, okay. 14th, Donnellan. 15th, old Wilson. We got the 16th, Van Scoit. 17th, we got Medina. I'll say that right. Yep. Jose Medina. Okay. 18th, we got Latham. 19th, we got Joshua Hart. 20th, sitting on the Art Nicotera. 21st, we got Brian Holloman. 22nd, we got old Russell Windsor. Holloman sitting in 22nd. Atkins there in 23rd. PB Henry starting 24th. Now, then we got 26. We got Dylan Grutzmacher. 27th, Alex Carr. 28th, we got Alpine. 29th, we got Gerlach. 30th, Mitchell. Hyatt sitting there in the 31st. Hot Boyle's 32nd. We got Darbyshire sitting in 24th. And doing right now, I'll just let y'all look at the rest of the field here, folks. They kind of like shuffle it up a little bit on me here, but 38 machines. One of them sitting in pit road. Looks like he might have to start it off pit road, but 38 machines here tonight, folks. This one ought to be a thriller.
I do just want to give you a small correction. It is Alphin, not Alpine.
Oh, Alphin. Okay. I'll probably call him Alpin.
Nah, man, you're just fine. I got that one corrected on me because I was with you.
You get a keep with me on it though. You know what I mean?
I got you.
We got Tucker fans out there, out here, but here we go. Now Talladega, hey, it's plate racing. There's not a lot to say about this place other than they're going to be side by side, 2x2. The only time I say that they might get split up is if they have a green flag stop. And then you might see the field get spread out a little bit. But other than that, you know, get your 2 packs or 3 packs or what. Other than that, they're going to be one big conglomerate here.
I want to see a green flag stop just because I like seeing the different strategies play out and how they're all going to meet back on track once they're all up and running.
Folks, if you look on the side ticker over there, you'll see the highlighted green drivers are our Fast 5 drivers. We'll get more into that here in just a few as we're getting set to go green. Flag here tonight, Talladega. Spartan Simracing Master Series here. Duncan and company up front going to bring them to the line.
Green flag.
As the green flag flies, here we go. Bumping on the start right there already. Clean start all in all. It takes about a lap or so for these cars to get up to full speed.
Does, and for a second I thought Sumter was actually clear on the inside, but nope, they got connected real good there on the bottom.
Did, man. Sumter, Salter, Duncan and company. We're going to see real quick who likes to stay out front, who wants to fall back to that back. Sometimes you don't really have much of a choice. You're just kind of stuck. You're just right there and have to kind of ride a little bit. We'll see, but you know, you brought that conversation up on the high side. You see it right now. I still think the high side needs a little help to get up there to the front, more so than the low side. Even in real racing, you saw it there. Looks like the high side just needs a lot more oomph to it than what the low side is. Why? Man, Wes, your guess as good as mine on that one. Physics.
I've got no idea with that. To be honest with you, I know being on the high side, it's a longer way around the track, so you need more horsepower, more momentum with you around, which side draft could help with a bit, but it's typically with a lot more cars on that high side to get around the bottom.
You know, and that is another thing that iRacing does really well is they've implemented with the side draft several years ago. I talk about the draft on iRacing as opposed to real racing. Side drafting, they have really done a great job implementing what it's really like in real racing. The only thing that I have really ever had a gripe or concern, so to speak, is to see Maine's going to the front right there, took to the high side, was the fact of when you do have two groups and the second group is all single file. Let's say you have about 6 machines and they're all single file nose to tail, and the front group are all side by side, you know, nose to tail, and they're walking away from that group back there. In real life, usually that second pack, run them down would be faster. So I feel like that's the only thing that iRacing has kind of faltered a little bit when it comes to the draft package. But other than that, they have a pretty stellar realistic on how these cars react in a draft.
Yeah, and as we were talking right there with the side draft, look what happened. The top side got a good 4 cars out front and have now moved down.
Yeah, Sumter, Maine's right there. Maine's, he went up to the top side, and well, I'll tell you what, Sumter right there, he's going to be very careful. And that's a little risky where he's at right there. Don't want to get too much, because you can easily take the air off the back end again. Now, being in a fixed setup, you have to worry about that more so than probably an open setup, unless that guy's got his car so he can't hardly drive it. Here's where you want to do the bump draft. You see it, kind of made it back off perfect. That's kind of textbook right there. That was beautiful. Can't really get any better. See how low those cars are. You want to try to get them as low as you can. You know, obviously don't get air up underneath them. Place them scraping up. Good shot here to show you. Good drafting.
It's really good drafting, and I love it. Like you said, a little bit precarious here, pushing.
Yeah,
basically tandem drafting through the corners.
Yeah, and now I will give him credit here. He's not bump drafting, but he has closed up right on his bumper. Like you said, it's more of a tandem style draft than it would be more of a bump draft in a turn. Now, when you get into problems is when you start bumping on that back rear end, and you can actually catch that turn. He got him right before he got in the turn right there. But yeah, that's really good. Like you said, tandem style drafting, and that's just two guys are going to have they have to really communicate throughout. Early on for it, I think, but again, it might be how these cars are set up, where they're going to have to do that. They can't sit back and maybe just ride a little bit. And 26, he's already bumped somebody a little bit too hard there. Hammond did.
I mean, bumping a little hard, it definitely can hurt your car. You got to be gentle whenever you do it. Just a small little love tap. You don't want to absolutely smack them.
Fucking out of speed on the end, just a little bump in there, Hammond right. And really the only way to get that damage is just maybe he's hit something a little bit too hard. But it won't hurt him as long as he stays where he's at. I say where it will affect him is if he goes back out there by himself on the high side. Now, with that said, I've always said you don't have to pass the guy to win. You just got to get your nose right in front of him. Many times we've seen guys win races by mere inches.
Mere inches, sometimes even half or a quarter of an inch. It doesn't matter to be fully out front here. You just take the momentum and run with it. And you want to set them up going into 3, even though the race isn't going to happen off of 4. It happens through the tri-oval. Still, the setup into 3 is going to be key.
Well, you're just looking back here. This is the 35th place spot. There, JP Jones right back here. The whole field in a bunch, blanketed right now. So everybody's still together. We talked about that earlier. Excuse me. Except for Remy. What happened to Remy? Remy was up. Started up front somewhere. Some pit.
No, Remy had I think he had a small disconnect as they were forming the grid where he started from the pits.
A slow car, Atkins. Yep. Awful slow. What happened to Atkins? Up in the wall.
I think he got up into a wall and then he got hit a little bit more. I think it was by Connor Henry.
Oh, fine. Back here. '81. Staring at 81, folks. Too far back. It doesn't flash or anything. Oh, he got into the 88. Well, that was close. He smashed the ball. Wow, that could have been a big one.
Definitely could have been a big one. Luckily, very little people involved in that.
Take that guy's head, man. He got a whiplash out of that one. Good night. Wow. Rewind that back. That was up. Just touched him right there and then bam.
He had a really big run. He didn't want to check it up. He wanted to move up through the middle of the back, which kind of squeezed him 4 wide for a moment.
Got him, like you just said, it went 3-4 wide and plate style racing. The 6 had us, he had to serve a drive-through penalty. So Remy had a drive-through penalty. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, can you tell us, maybe give us, Chris, a little heads up on, was that a drive-through penalty that he had on the restart there? Maybe a mishap on the restart, or is that a penalty that he had to serve due to maybe something prior weeks or whatnot or so forth? Something he had before the racing.
I've got the penalty chart pulled up. Okay. It was something before the race.
It was
drive-through penalty under green flag.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. So had to serve that drive-through penalty. Again, not too bad. I mean, yes, he's going to be out here. He's probably going to be looking at, hopefully he's hoping for a caution right now. That's what he's hoping for. But that we can get him back up. If not, he's hoping for that round of pit stops, maybe to get right into a pack to where he can go on and so forth. Like, he's not out of it. Just get out there, man, keep it trucking.
He's sitting there all alone, and unfortunately, you can see it right there. He's going through the tri-oval as the leaders are coming out of 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're going to catch him. That's obviously, like I say, right there in that picture, though. It was a good picture. See the battle up front. Highline's trying. We've seen the Highline take that spot a couple times. Westwood there with Tucker, Windsor. You got Maines there, too. Again, folks, if you look on the outside there, the guys highlighted in green are part of the Fast 5 guys. And right now, Tucker, is it Tucker?
I think it's Sumter's up at the top.
Oh, yep, right there.
It's in right there, second car, bottom lane.
Yeah, he is there right there. He's in 3rd place. He is the top man. See, the other ones are way back in the back. Again, we go back. strategy. Some guys want to be up front. Looks like Sumter's one of those who wants to stay up front there with Maines. And we actually seen Maines last time at Daytona. He wanted to stay up front most of the race. Some guys want to stay back here, like Brooksmacher, which this pack has broken up a little bit. Van Scoit. Yeah, Van Scoit, Hart, Henry, Carr. About 4 seconds off, so in this second pack. Not quite sure what happened there.
I think that was from when we had that 81 and 88 incident. Kind of broke them up a little bit, and thankfully they were at least able to get together.
Now, you remember I was talking about how like this pack should be quicker than the front pack. Now, in an open setup, they are. In a fixed setup, they're not. So maybe the draft thing works as it's supposed to in an open style setup because they are faster. They're running 49, 87 to 50, the 20s, which is how it's supposed to be. If I can get the words out right. I mean, they're side by side, up here racing. These guys back here, though, all formed up in a line, drafting. They should be a tick faster than the ones, and it looks like they are about a half second or so quicker, give or take, than the pack up here. So they should realistically catch back to here. It will take them a while being 4 seconds back, but they'll get back up there.
Yeah, and I think and I could be completely wrong with this, but the side draft, it doesn't actually speed up your car. It slows the cars that you're side drafting off of down, which I think is they did the opposite, where they might have just you're a little bit faster. We'll give you an increase in speed instead of slowing down the other line.
Yeah, that's that physics stuff. I have no clue on how the side draft. I know you're, like you said, you are taking the air off of the car beside of you to help you. They talk about that stuff in real racing a lot. Side draft to try to get you going faster. Obviously tucked up behind another one that, pure drafting, tucked up behind another two cars should be faster than one car because you've got the air splitting off between the two and the guy behind you obviously pushing you. So drafting's come a long way. You mentioned tandem drafting there. One time it was pure tandem drafting. You had two cars and they would upright. They'd go blowing around this track and blow the doors off the field.
And me personally, I don't know what everybody else says. My favorite type of drafting was tandem drafting. You find somebody you hook it up, and you do not let go of their bumper. Even through the corners, you're sitting there, you're pushing. I loved it. To me, at least, it felt like a very good race whenever we'd get, say, maybe 4 sets of cars that just, whenever they found each other, they were just flying.
Yeah. As a spectator, it's exciting when they're bunched up like this. As a driver, very frustrating because realistically you can't do anything. You can't get away from the pack, like you said. At least in the tandem draft, you can get away from the pack a little bit. Obviously, old school. To take it back to the Bill Elliott days, that dude he ran away from the field. It was more, yes, you had the drafting, but it was more about the horsepower. You could walk away from the pack and so there's been many forms of plate racing, drafting, et cetera. As a viewer, this right here is exciting. Driver's very frustrating. Well, I don't know. I don't know which one.
I think it's just up to personal choice whether you like to have the whole pack on top of each other, you like to see cars hooked up and go as fast as possible, or heck, even I want to say the early 2000s where it was kind of a pack mentality, but they didn't need to be as close. There was maybe about half a car length to a car length in between each car.
Yeah, more single
and you
file.
Just saw drivers
too.
dipping and it was more single file, and you just saw drivers dipping and diving between wherever they thought they could get the best.
Now, I will say that to me now, since you referenced that one, is that one was probably one of the drafting that I probably didn't like because it tended to bring more just single file. Like you said, a driver would get a run and he'd pass them, get right back in line. But also right there too, I think it was around about that area, maybe before. Also had where they put the splitter on top of the roof. Really bunched these cars up. Couldn't go anywhere. I will be interested to see next year. I would like to see on this car. I think this car, we've talked about this in car here. This car is more set for road racing. It's very planted. I think it's a very stable car. And with as much downforce, I feel that they could give this car more horsepower. Now, I mean, obviously, the real reason they don't give these cars horsepower on plate races is because they don't want them to go 220 mile an hour. But I feel like in this car, with as much downforce as it has, it would take 1,000 horsepower for them to get to that speed. Unlike some of the cars back in the past where they didn't have as much downforce. Moving going on back here around back. Yeah. So I feel like they could probably give a little more horsepower to these cars on plate tracks, and they still would be fine. I don't think that they would go selling. I mean, like Bill Elliott's time, 212, 215 mile an hour. I don't, because they're only cracking right now like 190s, I think. Very rare, I think they hit that 200 mark. They only hit maybe that like on Michigans and stuff like that, Annas and stuff. I think they're only. We can probably see here. Let me bring up one of my dash cams here. See what a guy, 191 right there, 187. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that they're only running in the 190s. There's no way he's going from 190 to 200.
Yeah,
195, 196, maybe 8 is right there. I mean, they're right there at it, but I feel like if they was, I'd say 50 more horses. And because what happens is this car slows down so much out of the draft. You see it. I mean, in the draft, when they're pulling, they're hitting those 196s, 198s, but out of the draft, they fall all the way back down to what, like 188, it looks like, 190.
184.
Yeah, 184.
I've got Connor Henry pulled up on another screen, and his stream, at least, from in the car. Well, folks, he's sitting there at 184.
And folks, if you're watching on broadcast out there, see the far corner, you can see what I'm talking about. It's actually, we're watching Justin Tucker. That's his actual speed and time. He's in a draft, so you can see him. He's floating between 188, 189, and he catches a draft. He hits up to about 195, 197. But that's when he falls back and catches that draft. So, I don't know why it hits 202 every once in a while. So you just see right there, folks, that I feel like that these cars could maybe utilize a little more power. And I know that's been a hot topic of NASCAR as of late is, we want more power. The reason I bring that up is because I think they are getting more power for next season.
They are at everything lower than 1.5.
So they're not going to put them on 1.5s?
I'm not. I know there's the talk of below 1.5s. I'm not sure about 1.5s.
That's why I like to see. Bring them back up. Up front's all mains, and there's where I'm talking about that bump draft. That was a little sketchy there. Something almost caught him at the wrong spot going through the tri-oval. That's where the communication between Maine and Sumter.
Through it all the way to 1.
Yeah, and you saw Maine's get a little bit squirrely right there. So that's where Maine's probably going to have to say, hey, okay, man, look, hit me at the right spot. Quite yet, I don't want to send this around, take half the pack out here.
That might take more than half the pack out if it's the 2 leaders.
Now, Hammond right now, Vinson, Duncan, Westwood, that top side, man, come up, go back a little bit. Inside lane still, but everybody right now just being very patient. Very good racing so far. good patient racing out here tonight.
And Joe, I know we talked about how the second group, which was all single file, should have caught the back end of this pack if it was real racing. Well,
And they did.
They have.
They did. Yeah, they were coming. They were right there running in the 49s and whatnot. So Van Scoot's got him. It looks like that they are content to run. I mean, we talked about guys that might want to fall back, like Jurgensen. He's down 22 spots, so he started up front, but he's right back here. Like he just wants to ride back here in the back, kind of just comfortable. And hey, look, ride back here. So what we got? Genningsman down 10. He's back here riding a little bit. So no need to really like push the issue here early on. Have plenty of time. You got some heavy names, Komacheski, Grutzmacher back here, like you said, Genningsman there, Hyatt. Obviously, we know Remy had the drive-through penalty there. He'll get back going, but yeah, you got some heavy names. I mean, you can't take anything away from Maines. He loves being out front, wants to stay out front. He was a force to reckon with, man, back at Daytona.
Yes, he was. And another thing is Sumter was the one who pushed him originally out into the lead, and Sumter's still right behind him. I don't know if those two are talking to each other a lot, but I think Sumter's content with sitting there and pushing up against Maines.
It has been for the last several laps. Looking very strong right there on board. Done a textbook job of drafting with him, knowing when the right time to kind of push, when not to push. Good little bump. Hold right there on his back bumper. And that's what a perfect example of what I was talking about. You can't see that inside right there, Wes, going in a turn. And you can easily maybe get down. All you see is that back end of that car. The truck's even worse than when the car's on.
Trucks, the tail, I swear the truck is one of the widest things you see ripping around the track. It takes up almost the whole backstretch there, just the width of it. You can see almost nothing in front of you. You're tucked up right behind someone.
Absolutely, and then we talk about it, as you'll see later on in the race, and you don't want to get boxed in on that bottom lane there as a high line comes up on the inside or the outside of you, because you can't go below the yellow line. You can't pass down there. Obviously, if you've got cars on the outside, you can't go to the outside. I suppose if you're on the outside, you've got one lane up there and go to. So some of these guys are going to have to think about is you see that outside lane's trying to work its way to the front. Looks like Westwood, the number 92 machine, can get right there to it, and it's like a bubble. He's going to need a little bit more of a push to get right past it.
It's almost every single time those two hook up, you've got Sumter and Maines on the bottom hookup. What seems to be even better is they'll get right up there next to Sumter, and then Sumter's like, okay, time to push, and then he's clear again.
Absolutely. Out front, man, Maines is looking good.
I want to also hit on what you just said about being trapped in the bottom. You can also be trapped up top. When it comes to pit stop time, you got to work your way to the bottom, and if you're trapped up top and your car runs out, that ain't exactly good.
All right, out front right now, got Maines, Sumter, Hammonds, Vincent, Westwood, Duncan on the top side there with Wilson, Salter, Phillips, and Mitchell. but it's just being patient. Good race so far here, Talladega style. Kind of riding right now. No way for you to break out. I mean, if you're kind of stuck on that outside right now, you're kind of stuck on that outside.
And finally, a little bit of the boys that were in the second pack, they've made their way up to the top. I think that's all teammates. They're very similar in paint schemes. They're like, okay, we've ran back here a little bit. Let's try moving forward.
Absolutely. Out front, you got Salter, Westwood, Windsor, Wilson, Phillips, Donovan. That side just cannot get the traction that it needs. Falling back a little bit. We should start seeing pit stops here pretty soon. Within maybe the next, 8 laps or so?
Maybe, but right now the whole top 6 cleared out from the outside. So if they want to move, they can.
The yellow flag is out.
Huge wreck.
Wow. Back and watch what happened on this one. So Wilson went off the track. High up here. Happened. Decipher this one here. Going.
Check up there, and then he lost it, and there was a checkup.
But I mean, he just lost it. That car came. That's unusual. That car just came right out from under him.
And then I think I also saw the 48 get airborne.
Watch here again from the. Yeah, there's the 36 up in the air there. You just saw it. 7, 5. But that was strange how that car just snapped loose like that. We saw that a lot too. Cars had been looking pretty stable. Just going to be a product of plays wrong time here. Tries to avoid. Got it clear. I got it clear. In the grass. Good. Oops, a little bit. It says he got it. It went off the track. We'll see. Through the grass here. Would have slowed up, he would have made it. Hit the 11. And just going right back there too, watching it started up here with Wilson and an 11 machine. And just that car just snapped loose. That nobody was on his bumper, nothing there. So that's kind of something that maybe in the setup or somewhere that thing just got it. Ow. That one I can't explain. One of the Fast 5 drivers involved. Grootsmacher. Heavy contact.
Yeah, unfortunate for him, Grootsmacher, he's one of the more patient drivers, I would say, but he's got the speed whenever he needs it. And I would have said even if he didn't win today, I would think he would have had a top 5 to put it into next round even.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Under caution. Put some right there close to their pit stops, and most everybody did except for Mitchell and Hyatt. They didn't come on the pit road. I know that's what Remy needed. He definitely needed that pit stop because that got him back on the lead lap. like fitted in it. Run a Mains and Company, a good stellar pit stop. Everybody, like pretty much 4 tires, fuel, which now that's another subject we talk about. You see a lot of on the fixed side setup thing. Guys will go whole races without putting tires on, unless it's a caution. That here, it might be a lot different to where the tires will wear a little bit different and so forth, being an open style setup where these guys can do a lot of their own setup and whatnot. Still on a caution. Hey, we'll put 4 tires on.
Might as well. It's going to do no harm, no foul. If it was green flag run, don't do tires. Just in the pit stall as little as you can be.
Might get 2 in. I don't know how much fuel you have to get. 4 tires on a green flag. Unless maybe a long green flag, but still, I don't know. Unless we see one, time will tell.
Well, I want to say it was that Sumter was loyal to Maines there in that first part. Do you think Maines is going to give the favor back, stay right there on Sumter?
Maines wants to be out front. Maines is probably going to do now. I mean, obviously well, you see that 26 out there. Here's where that damage is going to probably hurt. I think what's going to, let me just throw out a scenario here, whether it works this way or not. I think the 26 is not going to get going. Sumter and Maines are going to get going. Maines can't instantly jump to the outside because he's going to need help. Obviously, he's probably, I mean, the 26 could help him, but at some point you're going to see Maines jump out there. I don't think he's content running behind. I think he's got more of a puller style car from what I've seen. But, you know, time will tell here. I just see he jumped up there to the lead very quickly, and he feels comfortable out front. But here we go. Pace car coming out of 4. Lights off. Going to get set to go back green. Got old Sumter Hammonds up front here. Going to lead the pack. First caution of the night. Pace car's in. Low march up to the start. Flags start. Go. For to get there. There we go. Green flag. And that's what I thought. Maines was going to get up there and push something. The problem is right now he can't get up there and go around because he has no help. And that's what I thought was going to happen. You see earlier I was talking about with that one car with the damage. He just can't get going. You know, the car. Now, when he goes down here, yes, he's going to be able to push up on the back end of that 28. What Maines would like to see is that 28 come with him. And he would love to, you know, go to the outside. I don't know. You know, we'll see how patient he is wanting to sit back there and push.
Yeah, those top 3 just nose to tail trying to get up to speed as soon as possible. Once they're up to speed, I want to say, is when you'll see, if he does, that's probably when the 5 takes his chance to the outside, hoping someone comes with him.
Yeah, and he's going to need help to do it. That's another thing is, you know, you're going to need help to jump to that outside no matter what, and he knows that. And he sees this high line coming. And so I was talking about before. He'll probably, if that high lane can get right there to the 28, that's where you'll see Maines instantly jump to the outside, I think. He'll watch that closely. He'll see that 92 creeping up there, Westwood and Company. As they get closer, I'm going to put something on that you're going to see Maines eventually jump out there. Net code ripped your front off? How did it rip your front off? Never seen Netco rip a.
I've got no idea.
See, now here is where I think with Maines would make that move, but all right, he proved me wrong. He stuck with Sumter. That's what. Okay.
Seems like the outside maybe getting abandoned a little bit. You didn't see enough of a run up top. If you did want to take it, that is.
Now, here's another scenario too, and on Maines' defense here, why he's staying where he's at. He could be trying to say, okay, look, I know how well my car will pull. Let me see how my setup is on pushing, because we mentioned that earlier. Some cars are better set up, man, as pushers or pullers. Let me just see how much I can suck up on the back end of a car, and just in case I get stuck in this position later on, coming to the checkered or whatnot, and I have to maybe make a move, see how well I am if I'm not out front. So that might be another thing he's trying to test the waters up here too. How well can I push a car? How well can I suck up to the back end of it? How well my setup is and whatnot. And it looks pretty good so far.
That's Grootsmockers in there talking. All right. So the 11 would have been better to the wheel stand the wall instead of locking the brake, instead of locking up and sliding down the track. So
yeah, but from our point of view, if you go back and watch it, our Grootsmocker kind of just ran right into the guy. I mean, he was coming down, which obviously, is not. At your point of view, you should have cleared him, but then he came down the track, and guess what? Just y'all met in the middle, unfortunately. Unfortunate, just unfortunate. Hey, checking from the campgrounds. Well, I hope the hot dogs are good out there in the campground. So far, the racing's been really good. These guys have been very patient up front. Just watching them so far, you see the high line trying to come to life. 5
N52 teammates. That's what I thought, Chris. I was looking through. They've got a large team right there, TWRS.
Okay. Well, then that makes sense, and then it goes back to what I was saying too. Then Maines could be like, okay, look, Sumter, I'm going to sit back here. I'm going to push you for a little bit. Let me see how well my car is. I go back to that again. Let me see how well my car is. I know I can run well out front, but can I run well behind someone? Do I have it set up well enough to do it? Do I have it set up well enough to, like, hey, look, if Sumter's out front coming to the green flag and I get boxed in like I am right now, do I got enough oomph to push you to the win? Is my car set up well enough to do it? Because sometimes they might not be. He might have it, taped up too much to where he can't stay up on the back bumper of it and so forth. And he can't do it. He's going to have to back off. Things like that you have to look at. So that might be his team, what they're working on right now, making sure that those two cars are good on both ends of the spectrum, because you don't want to get one-dimensional as a driver out here. See that high lane coming to life, though. Good run so far for him. Said Alphen, right?
Yes.
I got it right. He come to the front rumbling. If he can hang on up there. He had that high side moving.
Yeah, and as you were talking about, at least with what line to pick, we discussed that earlier. As soon as they're clear, everybody's wanting to go to the bottom, so I think it's a consensus there.
Well, you could just see the struggle that has happened on the top side. Not to say the top side, out there on the top, man, there, Tucker, man, pushed out. You could see already how just of a struggle it is for that top lane to get going. It needs so much help. Not that won't be a winning lane, okay? That by all means, can you win from the top side? Absolutely. As you see the two teammates there, they're going to just overpower the man out front there. Sumter Maines, they will. So you can win from the outside, but you're going to need help like you're seeing right here. You're going to need cars that are committed, that are going to push, that are going to go. It looks like those Sumter and Mains, they want that inside lane. Oh yeah, Grooves, man. I mean, bad. It does. It's plate racing. Sometimes we talked about that. You know, some guys may want to ride in the back to try to avoid. You're not guaranteed, even when you ride in the back. You're not guaranteed, even if you're on this track, to avoid any kind of wreck here. So you know, you could be out front, get into the big one, get spun, be in the middle, be in the back. But I know the thing is, sometimes you're patient to ride in the back, try to avoid it. Just one of those things, plate racing, unfortunate. Got a good one, but you can see the high lane, and I'm with you here, Wes. It just seems like that high lane can get a run, but then it's just like a bubble. They just can't get going, and that's typical high side plate racing. I don't know what fixes that other than the fact of horsepower. We go back to the horsepower, not so much downforce. Because as long as you keep this racing like it is, I think the high lane's always going to struggle no matter what you do. But the low side's just got a slow car now.
Unless, but I mean, we talk about it all the time. I say it's a numbers game. Yep. Sometimes it is just the more powerful car. As you see, they're rocketing right past Sumter again.
Oh, right now you see it. That's Sumter, man, right on the outside. But he's like Sauter, man. He's got a good pusher up there. Didn't want to leave him because, you know, he understands it's probably two teammates down there on the bottom. Unless Yates part of their team also. But then they're just wanting to control both lanes. A smart way to do it. One control high, one control low. I mean, again, still early into this race here. We're at lap 46 and 140 here tonight. These guys are being patient. I got to give my hats off to them out there. That was a weird caution that we had. The way that car spun, the way it just, there was nothing around him. Now, we do talk about these cars losing air and so forth and, you know, getting out from under them. But the way that one lost it was kind of just weird.
Yeah, looking through it, Salter's not on the same team with Sumter and Mains there, so it wasn't controlling both lanes by a team. But, hey, look, they made their way around. They came right down in front of those two.
They did. Now, go ahead.
I was about to say, if by chance this top lane does fall back and it's single file all the way on the bottom, I'd be looking at Sumter and Mains to try and maybe start a top line to get around these two in front of them, because those two seem to love being out front and being the first two cars out front.
They do. Right now it's a good test for them too, to see, okay, whoa, we got a car around it.
The yellow flag is out.
Mitchell looked like the two machine though that actually started that one, so let's go. Saw him there at the bottom. Might not have been actually, but it looks like the 92 might have went. Mitchell. A bump draft going wrong. We'll watch here real quick. Lost it too. Oh.
Lost it going into the corner there. You saw him kind of just swerving a little bit, and then the car just didn't steady.
Just seen it all night long. These cars look stable, then all of a sudden, well, I mean, could have been a little bit of taking the air off the back there a little bit. Let's watch one more time here. Good overview shot. You can see maybe a little bit. He never touched him. And it might have took the air off the wing in the back of that car, lifted it up just a little bit, and then just got him loose. Wow. Unlike before, where there was nobody around the other driver and it's just snapped loose. There it looked more like the car behind him kind of, you know, typical, you know, you take the air off the backside, the wing of the other driver, you can send him around that way. That happens too, folks. You take the air off the back end of a driver. We've talked about that. Actually, real racers talk about that a lot. You know, hey, look, I got my rear end squirrely. Did you hit me? No, you never hit him. But yet it feels like they did because the rear end kind of lifts up a little bit, or, you know, they lose the air on the rear and it gets so light all of a sudden. And you know, you're going around going, what happened? It stops again. Fuel only this time. Think they would take tires? Been a good one so far. Unfortunately, a couple cars out. Phillips, Schumacher, Williams, like Dina, Derbyshire, Atkins. Out of this one so far. That's a tough one. All right. Thinking here, Wes.
I mean, looking at what I think is the best two cars, probably. Granted, super speedway racing, pack racing, there's not a certified best car. It's just how well you handle a draft. Almost everybody's equal on speed. But I still want to say probably the two best cars we've had so far, Maines and Sumter, they've been locked up nose to tail almost the whole race. They've spread out a bit now. So are they going to look to find each other?
Yeah, well, and probably the best way to say that, too, they're just probably the best two drafting cars, like what you just said, has been what Sumter and Maines. Now here's another predicament as a team that you've got to really communicate. You just brought that up is, hey, we're split up. Can we get back together? And look who's up there in 8th place, man. Remy, boy, he's fought back. And that's what I say, man. Anything can happen in a plate race. I've seen one. So I'm with you on that one there, Wes. You know, can they get back together? If they can't get back together, now how good is my car? How well am I, racing out here? How well can I stay up front? For Sumter, it's can I get back to the front? Can I get through this field? Can't take anything away. You got Salter, Zozak. Is that right? Zozak?
Zosiak?
Is it Zosiak? Sounds like a one of those. I can't even think of what you call them. Things that have like Cancer and Scorpio and all that.
Zodiac.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. That's what it sounds like. Appreciate that, man. Smarter than you thought. Pace cars in. Here we go. Gotta have the analysts up here, folks. With you. Oh, what about Green? Salter and Company up front. Want to see what these two guys can do up front here. See if they can hold off the man.
Flag.
The Mains get that good jump on the start where he pushes right on the back end there, Salter. Make sure he can get back going. Green flag, and we'll see if he stays behind him or if he tries to jump up top.
Yeah, Main's right there on the back as well. I mean, not letting off rather.
Man, I tell you what, you see that bump track to going turns. Ryan. Let's go Holloman. Okay. Holloman right now is
I see him right
he's in
there.
12. He's in 12.
Seventh on the top side, bright green number on the roof.
Yeah, Brian Holland. Going him in 11th. Right? Yeah, but he'll be up 7th here. That's how fast it's. Westwood to the front. Cole Macheski there with him. Top three's pulling out with Remy. Look at Remy, man. I tell you what. Man came out here, had a drive-through, went a lap down. Got the lucky dog back. But never mind. Here comes the man on the outside. Look at the run. Now we're going to see how good that outside lane is. Maine jumped to that outside.
And Maine's got that run because the 28 had one, but then there's a huge checkup. The 28 to the back of, who is that? I gotta find it. I think Soziak there into the back of Remy, and it just caused a huge checkup. And Maine's had a small gap he could slide through just to take it.
He's up top. Westwood out front right now. Let's see if the top lane can get going. Like I said, you got Hammonds there with him. Alphen, Alleman, Sumter and Company. Olmacheski, Westwood up front.
You want to talk about teammates and how I want to say super speedways are really a teammate track. That's who you want to find. Maines has another teammate right behind him in Vincent.
Oh, okay. All right. Up 5 spots there, like you said, Vincent. This is what they need. They're working. And a freight train to the top side, nose to tail. That bottom side's broke up just a little bit, so that should be the momentum for the top side as they are tucked up a little bit more than what that bottom lane is. Saw Westwood get away from there of Cole Macheski just for a second, allowed that high lane to get the run. Going to have to keep closed up if they want to keep that high lane from a run. If Maine stays with his dancing partner, I think he will.
I definitely think he's going to stick with them until, I want to say they're going to run this top lane until both of them are clear, and then they're dipping low.
As long as those two cars down on the bottom side keep tucked up like they are and they don't get a little gap, it's going to be kind of a tough one. You can see, though, where Maines is able to get out front, but pushing the man right behind him there to get him, too. I mean, if they break up the bottom two cars, the only problem is, too, is they get the 26 up there. He can push a little bit, but if they get too far out there, he can't push an awful lot. That damage will hurt him a little, and that might be the key factor of trying to clear. Again, though, those bottom two are going to have to stay tucked up. If not, they're going to clear them.
And that's one thing I want to give credit to those PWR boys is once they get hooked up, they're hooked up for a long time, and it's almost a continuous push all the way around the track.
Okay. There's one up into his tailpipe. You see, that's the high lane right there. That's the bottom. That's Westwood. And they're keeping it right there where Maines just can't quite get around or can't pull his teammate with him. He can get out front. Now, what they could do, Maines drops down, controls the inside lane to where he could bring his Vincent along with him. Now I think they might. That's what I'm talking about. If they could break up those two guys on the bottom, what they need to do. And hesitation there. He had the door open. Yeah, he had the door open for a little bit, and then it closed.
Yeah, the 97 the 92 rather just had an amazing run there, and these boys were warned about blocking. If there's somebody with an obvious run coming, don't try to put it on if it's not necessary. Keep the racing clean. So I think he thought about that. He's like, no, it's too good. I can't go down.
It's too early too. I mean, last lap, 2 laps to go. Yeah, you drop down there and try to stop that run. I get it. At that point, hey, look, it's all fair love and racing. But we're at lap, what, 57 and 140. You don't want to make those kind of moves, take yourself out, take the field out, et cetera. Like, so that's a good heads-up racing there on Vincent.
Now he's just a little, and I was about to say he's just a little bit too far behind Maines, but then he just got right to the back bumper, and then the 20. I'm sorry, I cannot read that number. The 26 got right into the back of Vincent as well, gave them a huge shove down the back straight.
Yeah, just a good push right now. I mean, I will give credit, even with the damage there of Hammond and that 26 machine, he's been able to stay up there. His problem's going to run into is when he doesn't have anybody in front of him. Car will slow down, but for right now, he's definitely a good pusher.
I'd definitely say that because he's got the damage on front of him. He's not scared to go and hit him up front. But like you said, if these two clear of Maines and Vincent clear the bottom and they move low, he's a sitting duck up there with all the damage on the nose.
Right now, man, looking strong. Maines commanding the top side. Down on the bottom of 92 there, Westwood, he's commanding the bottom side here. They got a slew of machines, man. It is a heck of a line going on at the top, a line there at the bottom here. Talladega Master Series. First race of the Fast Five. Unfortunately, one of the Fast Five drivers got caught up in a wreck there. Grootsmacher. Man, just unfortunate night for him, but still got a few of them out there running. The top one right now would actually be on about Ullman. The big spot of 15.
Been right there. Very pretty. The fourth car in the outside lane. He's watching these three up ahead of him. They're constantly in the back of each other. He's hanging it back a little bit.
Now, they had an opening to go down the bottom there. I'm wondering at this point, are they really helping out the six of Hammond? Because they know if they drop down, they're going to leave him out. And it's just going to fall back and kill the top side. So I'm wondering at this point, it's like, hey, look, he's pushing us quite well. Let's try this top lane and see what we can do. Let's stay up here.
Well, as you said that, are they helping out the 26 of Hammond's? I want to reiterate, I thought it was just two TWRS cars up top. No, it's those first three are all on the same team. So
Hammond's is on their team? Okay.
Hammond's is with them. So 3 cars of the same team, all working together on the top lane. And you know what? They're making it work.
And they're probably, then they realize too, and now would be the time to go. And there you go.
And there they go.
Yeah, and at two, they probably realized, hey, look, if it would have dropped down a couple times there with that damage too, like I say, go back helping out Hammond with the damage, being a teammate like he is. Now they're all been there, and tell you what, Westwood says, "No, I'm gonna go outside and see what I can do."
Yeah, and so Westwood, like we said, a team game. That's his teammate right there behind him, Holloman and Westwood.
And you're right to bring up the subject of teams. I mean, that's the biggest thing about plate racing. You need help out here. You need somebody you can trust. Not to say you can't get out there and be a lone man, but to have a teammate to help you out, that's probably first and foremost what you want.
It's what you want. They said it well during the actual broadcast of the race. Find people you can trust, people you know who are going to go with you, and that's typically your teammates that you know is going to go with you if you need it.
Yeah, and we're going to see it probably by the end of the race. You know, the high side's going to get up there, and even if you don't have a teammate, I mean, obviously right now you got Maines and Vincent, but even if Maines didn't have a teammate behind him, what would happen was, you know, if the guy behind him got boxed in on the bottom with the high side coming and he's nowhere he could go, Maines is going to then have to trust the guy behind him to push him basically to the win at that point. So he would rather have probably a teammate back there, but again, it does come down to a person that he doesn't know. You're right. He's hoping that Don't wreck me.
Don't wreck me. And as we say that, look who's made his way up to the second place on the top group trying to get it going. Sumter's coming back.
Yeah. Yeah, Sumter, man, there. Remy's still up there. Boy, Remy, man, he's got to be the story of the race. I mean, the guy, and it goes back to what I was saying before. I have seen guys win this race from 2 laps down, starting on pit road. And basically, that's kind of what Remy had to do. He had to do a drive-through at the beginning of the race, went a lap down, got the caution, and now he's back up here to 5th. He's got a shot to win this thing, but he's that high side coming.
I don't want to say it's all because of one. I don't want to say it's all because of one man, but we talked about him. Sumter just has an amazing car in the draft. He's very good at pushing, so that might be a little bit leaning as to why that top side might be rolling so good.
Got Alphen right there too in the front side of him. We'll see if he's able to push him to the front. We've seen the high lane men struggle a little bit as they get up to the front side there. The more they get to the lead, now they stay, Still that, it's early. It's textbook style drafting. Need to, push the issue too much here. Also, if you're a teammate too, you go back to the teammate thing. You're able to communicate with the team and say, hey, look, man, I'm up on your bumper. I got to back off a little bit. I got to go to the outside. Car's getting a little hot. You're on your own for, 50 to 100 feet or whatever. Burn. Not going to be able to get tucked up to your back end. So that's where the teammates come into play, too, to where you're able to communicate with each other. See, look at that. To the lead. Open out front, Main's right there with him, Vincent. Still a big pack of cars, man, on top of each other. That's the whole field still in a line here. Everybody's still together.
Everybody's still together. Everybody's racing nice and clean. It's not as jumbled and chaotic as we saw with Daytona. Have had a couple of wrecks, but everybody's being patient. Everybody's being smart. And right now, your top 2 fast 5 guys sitting up there at the top lane, one at the lead of it, the other the third car back.
He is. Remy's there with it, man. Cole Macheski, Hammonds, Westwood, Ozak. All Alphen out front right now with Maines along with him. Like Maines might be saying, you know what, I'm going to just ride a little bit here. I've been out front of where I want to be. Car runs really well, either pushing or pulling. No need to get myself in trouble. Got a teammate behind me. Sumter's the one who's probably like, get up here too and ride with y'all.
Well, I mean, you want to talk about teammate. He's now got one in front of him, Remy, also on that team. It's a large team, to be fair. But I love it. You see, I'm not just saying this is going to be team like, hey, you can slide in here, you can slide in there. They're going to take runs if they can see it. Remy saw that the top side dying out a little bit, thinking he could get up to the front.
Caution, yellow flag.
Caution. Latham. On and just guys.
Not exactly sure what happened there. He seemed like he was running kind of solo.
It's on track. The caution came out because he was Technical issue? I don't know. Oh. Ouch. Ouch. So did they pit? Pitted on 48 in 20 laps. And a lot longer than that on the tires. But
we've seen them pit every time. They've got 4 sets of tires in the pit. So theoretically, if it's a long green flag run and then it's a caution, you could come in and get tires. Like we said, I don't think tires really are important. You can probably only do with maybe switching tires twice.
Yeah. Everybody's going to come in. Yep. Fuel only. Good one so far here. First race of the Fast 5, Talladega, Spartan Simracing League here tonight, Master Series. Look at Remy going to come out front here. And his battle back. Big time diversity tonight. How was everybody feeling? Favorite driver out? All right. Caution. Good one tonight here with Spartan. Seen some unusual things happen in the cars. Just rear ends coming out from under them.
And I know we talk about setting your car up loose. I want to say plate tracks are one of the places you can probably get away with it the most, but there still is that limit.
Yeah. Kind of back up. Gonna be Remy off and out front with Maines there along with him, Westwood. Solid race. Very good one. And set to go back to the start. Guys have had a run so far. Good long green flag runs here tonight. A few cautions here and there. No big ones yet, though. That man right there, Remy, started, had a drive-through penalty, went a lap down, got his lap back. Doing a battle back up here. Going to be leading.
He's got to be feeling amazing.
Yeah. No, he's able to bounce back like. But you know, you got a good enough car, patience enough to be able to do it, bounce back and be able to be there. Awesome. The bunch is up. Let's go back to green. Pace cars in. Here we go. Master Series here tonight. Spartan Simracing League. And right there, Remy, Alpha out front. Come up here to the start finish line. Go green.
Green, green, green.
Green flag. Good jump. To give him that push that he needs to get him up there, man, and get going.
Get the top speed as quick as you can. Try not to get disconnected too much. Granted, maybe into turn 3, don't be right on the rear and spin them sideways. But bottom side of the track look to be pretty good. They're pulling out a good bit of a lead here.
They are going to be with old Remy Maines right there along with it. And on the top side, try to get that high side of rolling. See the 92 machine there with him, man, the Westwood. Still got, man, a whole freight train down low and one up top. Nobody knows the tell so far. Looks like there. A little bit of push in front. Just how low these cars are, sparks to fly.
Set it up low, decrease any amount of drag that might come to the car and possibly underneath it. So it's just a little bit of an aerodynamic thing.
The thing they're lifting up on the track there. Shooting up in the air a little bit. Good still hanging on strong. Remy out front. Maines there with it with a Hammond. Sumter, Kolmacheski back there too in the mix. Salter. Bozak. 2 cars, Alex and Greg. Third car. Good side-by-side racing. The high line's got a little run coming down there. Turn.
Just a little bit, and the high line's typically better, at least off corner exit. They get a little bit of more momentum because they're coming off a steeper banking.
Alpha says I'm going to drop down.
Yes, he did. So that leaves the 92 right there of Westwood out front with Sumter right on his rear.
Oh, yeah. Here comes Westwood. And I'll just take that. Put Sumter up high. Still knows the tail. Nerve-wracking as a driver. Oh, just a spot. Stumbled up a little.
Some cars probably ducking out of the way, not quite liking where they're running, who's behind them, and just get to where they feel safer.
Absolutely. Like I said, it's got to be, frustrating as a driver. You're sitting there, you're just kind of riding right now. You see Sumter go to the front side with Kolmacheski there with him. Westwood, Zodiac, Alphen, Alder, Alex Carr with Remy.
It's a huge push from Salter to Zodiac.
That high lane going. Got a good run, didn't he?
Very good run, and those top three are all clear of the bottom lane. Whoa, that's tight there.
He almost hesitated a little bit. You saw him kind of a split second there. He thought about going down or staying up, but he said, he was clear. A good heads-up job by Sumter, too. Sumter probably could have closed that hole, but he thought, you know what, now come on down. We'll leave the fight another day.
Yeah, Sumter probably saw the small feint to the bottom as he's now put up to the top side. Saw that feint down to the bottom and backed off just a little bit in case he did fully commit.
That was a hard hit right there in the turn. Heat right there at Tucker. Good shot on the back end there meant something.
Tucker's typically one of our fast cars as well whenever we watch the races. And he's typically right up there fighting with Sumter. So these two getting connected might be a little bit of trouble. Sumter, I want to see if he's going to abandon the 8 car up top as soon as he can.
And blip in that bottle. That RPM meter just popping lightning. Goes the outside of me. Sumter said, I'm going down low. He's Tucker up top.
He's Tucker up top, and then the 88 of Gerlach's there now. Gerlach, I believe it was, he was involved with, I want to say, the 81 of Atkins whenever he went around.
Right.
I could be wrong there, but I think his car was involved in that accident.
Top two machines, one's up 25, one's up 28. They've definitely made their way to the front. Tucker out front right now. Think about wide. Not where Tucker wants to be.
If you are through wide, I wouldn't want to be middle.
Yeah.
Through my middle,
maybe the only time I'd want to be middle is if I've got the whole lane with me.
Yes.
That would be the only maybe time. I mean, right now it kind of looks like it does. Remy goes up to the top side, but that would be the only time. I'm with you, though. Normally, I wouldn't want to be in that middle.
The middle used to be, at least for a little while there in the 2010s, was known as the sucker hole. As if you got put middle, you went straight to the back.
Yeah. Or wrecked.
Or wrecked.
Yeah. But he survived. Or did. He can be able to pull back up here and get a bike. Tucker survived it. Oh, then he got hit from the side. Good save. Good holding on to that thing. Wow. So the car didn't know he was closing the gap that quick on the outside. Almost came up into the side of him. Tucker's one of the Fast Five drivers, by the way. Trying to win that money.
Tucker actually is not.
Oh, my bad. It's Sumter.
Yeah, I was about to say, you had Grootsmacher, who unfortunately wrecked out. Sumter, who's been top 10 almost all race. Latham, who we saw had that incident just a little while ago. Ginningsman, we've touched on him a little bit. He's been then and there. And then Holloman, who's found his way up here recently and has been flirting around the top 10.
Hollyland right now, man. Look at him. Guys getting awful racy up front. Let's say maybe quite a little bit early for it. Kind of back and forth moving.
160 to go, just over halfway in the race. Maybe just a little bit too much, but later half you see guys starting to think about taking runs when they can, trying to get prepared at least for the final pit stop, the money stop, and maybe the finish.
Yeah. You see guys like Maines, which we've seen up front most of the race. They're in the back. I know. Unorthodox for him just to sit back there in the back. Maybe he sees what's going on up front here.
I think that came with the conveyor belt that we've seen of people, the top getting the run and then just coming down low. So he's kind of been shuffled further back.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. That's a good word to use there, conveyor belt. You see the top lane, the guy drops down, he goes back, another one comes up there, gets in front. Kind of a rotating type thing, you know, from the top to the bottom. Tucker's still out front in this one. Gunther there with him. Dozak. We got a great car up here.
And that top line, I want to say that might die out there. At one point it was 5 cars, then they just split it up. Now they're back together. I think guys might be fishing to find something they might be able to use.
Yeah. Alpin there, Carr, Remy. Can see them every once in a while trying that very top lane, but it's not working right now. It might not be towards the end of the race. Not able to get anything going. Remy right there kind of fizzles out a little bit.
And with this, them going 3 wide, you can see that kind of miniature sucker hole effect, I'd call it, where those ones in the middle kind of slid back, but that's given the inside a huge gap, at least, between the front cars, between these 2 lanes.
Right around them there. See if Remy's going to bring this front side, or top side to the front. Try. Wonder why Talladega has never put lights at their track.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I noticed that. I mean, Daytona's got lights, but Talladega's the only one that don't. The only reason I bring that up is because they were talking about why they had the Xfinity race starting so late and there's no lights at it. Plus, it's getting a little dark out.
It is getting a little bit dark, and the sun might be hitting their eyes on certain turn. Can't quite tell what that is. But Remy now getting the outside together, and he's coming to the front. Sumter now up there with him.
Yeah, he jumped up far now. He's going to boom. He says, hang on. I'm going to give you a bump draft here going down the back stretch. Give you another little one before we go into turn. I'm going to hold on here. Oh, now that was a bump draft. That was a little sketchy. Well, talking about how you can upset that car in front of you. Bump him wrong at the wrong spot. Like no sun's bothering him. I know boards here just to see. I'm curious. You know, there are some tracks, man, that sun will bear down right in the eyeball.
Just a little bit, and now it's going to clear those top 3. That's PB sitting there in 3rd. And then that's Connor Henry in 4th, right behind him.
I like the summer out there too. I appreciate it. I would probably go more for the lack of infrastructure on the electrical side rather than cost, because I think they probably could have the cost to do it. And this place makes money just as well as Daytona.
If not better.
Yeah, but that I could go along with what you're saying with the infrastructure. Because this is more of it's almost like Rockingham, and I've Been to Rockingham many a times in my life. Actually, the drag strip, which is the racetrack's right across the street from it. And where Rockingham sits, it's in such like a out in the middle of nowhere in the county, you know. So I could get, so this one here sits kind of in a county, unlike where Daytona sits more into more of a populated area and so forth.
Daytona's almost right in the city.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So it's, let's say, richer area. Let's say it that way. You know, where they probably could afford a little bit more of that electricity.
Directly from the track owner as well. So not even group. He's not even saying from what he's seen. It's direct quote from the track owner. So understandable.
Yeah, I get it, but how many times are you going to believe some of them owners? I mean, they're billionaires. Come on, man. How about some cheap guys? I said it. I know. I mean, that's like, well, hey, man was good, but that's like Bruton Smith saying, man, I don't got the money to do that. How many tracks you own, by the way? Which I don't even, who owns Talladega, by the fact? That's another good subject there, or a good question to ask is, a lot of the tracks are out there, you know, were owned, some are owned by NASCAR, some are owned by Bruton Smith, unfortunately, who I think just recently passed away, unfortunately. And then, you know, whatnot. But who does own Talladega? Do you know who that is, Wes?
I want to say, I think it's owned by NASCAR, but I could be biting my own tongue here.
Yeah, you're right, man. That's why is it?
They are owned by NASCAR.
So, okay, groups. Then, if they're owned by NASCAR, there's no reason why they shouldn't have lights. If it's just the cost part. Now, the electrical part, we'll have to go. So anything that an owner of NASCAR says that we can't afford, guess we just take it one ear and out the other.
Yeah. Being at the track, they are very much down. They are in the six. They are in a low
prior
country
owner.
area.
Okay, I got the prior. He laughs on that. Yeah, the prior. Okay. All right, guys. Okay, good deal. And the four. Well, now the power grid. Now the power grid I could go with. Okay, now that one. There you go. Bill Frank. That's right, Bill. He owned a lot of the tracks, but yeah. Now I could go with the power grid. Probably not handling. So I could. Yeah. Okay. Well, good, man. See, that's some good little technical knowledge. That's good to know, man, with the tracks and what this and that. Why some don't, why some do. Doesn't take away from the thrill of the race on the track right now, though. Sumter's still the man. Tucker there along with it with Remy. You got Carr, Dollingland there along with it. Alphin, Salter, Kozak, Henry, Gerlach. That's your top 10. And coming up on some lap traffic.
Coming up on lap traffic, and it looks like they're wanting to make it 3 wide. Those there on the bottom might get stuck. No, they're going to be able to get up.
I got to give my hats off to the top lane. I think they probably saw that one coming and said, you know what, we bailing on that deal. I mean, they probably thought, that looked kind of bad. We were 3 wide there for a second. That just, I don't know.
And
got to get it down on that one. Who's the 12? Actually, the 12. That 12 up our lap car? No, that's a down.
No, he's not.
That's down.
Now, speaking of the 12, a little loose there. Maybe that bump from the 28.
A little bit shaky.
One thing I do see, and I kind of like with lap traffic, it's interesting. It can break up a line a little bit and break up a pack. You see the first, like, maybe 10 or so cars all single file down there on the bottom. Oh. Then it's almost like a jumbled mess back here. There's large gaps in between the cars further in the pack.
Yeah. Another thing, too, is, you know, we talk about with lap traffic, and I even say this a lot in road racing. You want lap traffic to hold their line, whether it's the racing line or not. You do not want lap traffic trying to say, I'm going to predict where the leader's going to be. It is the leader's responsibility, as much as the leader don't want to admit to this, to go around lap traffic safely, okay? If you catch a car at the wrong part of the track, whether they're in your line or not, You got to go around him safely. So I got to get my hats off there because that was perfect textbook on the lap traffic. They held their line. They didn't try to go, oh, well, their pack's coming. Let's go high and get out the way. We're staying low where we're at. They saw them 3 wide. It's up to them back there that were 3 wide to break that up, okay? Not the lap cars to get out of the way. They stay where they're at.
Be predictable. Don't try to predict.
There you go. See, but a lot of times, though, you hear differently. Oh, it's a lap car. Sometimes it is a lap car's fault. I will admit. But sometimes, they're like that. They're like, they should get out of the way. We're coming. Oh, y'all don't go 3 wide. Unless it's the last lap, then maybe 3 wide. But not at lap 94. Lord.
And the way I see it with this is, even if you are a lap car, if you're not yet a lap down, you're allowed to fight for your spot. You can fight the leader. I do not care. But if you then do become a lap down and they come at you again, that's where you kind of give way a little bit.
Yeah, and I'm with you on that. If you're fast enough to fight, I mean, obviously on a plate track, it's kind of, plate racing. But any other track, if you're fast enough to hold with the leader, yeah, stay. Now, obviously, once it gets to a certain point in the race, and I'm going to say, well, let's say in another track, maybe 3 or 4 laps to go, and you're hindering, let's say, the second or third place car from trying to battle for the lead or whatnot, then at that point, yeah, look, you're never going to get your lap back anyways, even if you get in front of the leaders. At some point you've got to give way, but I'm with you on that one. We've seen that scenario play out a couple times. Hopefully we don't see it here, although we have seen some scenarios where lap traffic comes down and helps out draft-wise here. But there again, at some point, you're going to want to say, look, the guy needs to move something. The other drivers are going to be like, hey, get out of the way. Absolutely. Holloman's doing great out there. You're right. Bad man. Last week he'd have won it there. No problem. Holloman's not doing bad. Hanging on right there, 11th place spot. Just kind of riding a little bit. He's still up 10 spots. Great car up there. Bumper's still out front.
Holloman's been flirting around the top 10 almost all race after that first or second caution. Speaking of, it's been about 30 laps since the last one, and we saw these guys on pit road to take gas.
I want to see a green flag stop because, remember we talked about that earlier. What do? They have not taken tires the last several cautions, and they've been on the same set of tires now well over 50, 60 some odd laps, maybe more. Be interesting to see if they take maybe 2 tires or whatnot, or no tires. But I would like to see a green flag stop just to what some of these guys do. Feel lonely. How does it break the field up here, or does it break the field up? Some of those kind of storylines to look at.
That's the storyline I like to see. I like to see the different pit strategies. How big of a group do you come down with? You don't want to come down all alone. You're going to have no draft and help, and everybody's just going to blast on past you if they're in a pack. But if you get a group that's too big, that can lead to some moments on pit road, and you can come out even more jumbled up than when you went in.
Don't like roses, man. That's the thing. Right now, Sumter's looking strong up front. Me right there along with him with Tucker, Carr, Alphin. That's top 5. Wanting to win this Fast 5.
He's been up there all race long, chilling whether first or second, whether he's on the inside or the outside lane. So he wants to be up front. He wants to control it.
And he wants to win. Got a strong car. Definitely strong out front. I mean, don't count Remy out here either. Now, what would it be? I would just say, boy, if Remy pulls this victory off here tonight, that'd be a heck of a comeback. I mean, even a top 3, man, would be like heck of a win.
Definitely would be a heck of a win. Come back. He had that drive-through lap 1. Served it. Well done. put a lap down there, the first little stint of the race, the first little run. And now up here second, right behind a teammate, just pushing him forward.
Yeah, it is. Get Tucker right there behind him. Kind of single file. Everybody just being patient, running. Looks like we got a slight two-pack going on here. Coleman hasn't lost a draft yet. He's only about a second back. See Westwood right there, then Holloman's there along with him. And they might want to pick it up just a little bit so they make sure, but looks like they're getting ready for pit stops because everybody's single file.
Single file on the bottom, that's typically what you look for pit stops. And like we've said, the question is, when do you come? How many do you come with?
Lap 68 was the last time they were in. Oh, they're on the 32 mark right now.
Look at that shot going into one, just one long line of cars.
Choo-choo train out here, man, at Talladega.
Now, when eventually they do pit, that's going to change, obviously. You're going to have cars coming off the pit road. Some cars already blasting by on the track. It's going to get jumbled up, and that's where you're going to see a lot of action. Trying to stay out of the ways of those that are faster. Maybe try to side draft them if you can to slow them down to stay up with them.
And right now, I know this gives Dave and James, and right now, they're probably, man, this is easing my blood pressure. See just car single file right now.
Maybe just a little bit.
No, hang on to it, though, man. We get down there to the end, though, it's going to get exciting. They're out front right now, leading this pack. Remy there with it with Tucker, Carr, Alphin. Top five. Macheski still running right there with Gerlach. Duncan and Carr. Alex Carr, by the way. Westwood. Back here in the back. Guineas went back on the track. Oh, he's been on the track. My bad. It was Bruce Mocker, man.
Yes.
He's been quiet all race, though. Guineas
He's been quiet, and it's typically the way we see it. He's flashy when he needs to be, but for the most part, he's quiet and he calculates his moves.
And it's good just to be like I said, this we talked about it earlier in the race. One of those moves. Don't want to get too far back, and actually he's back here in this kind of like third pack, and they are 10 seconds off the main pack back here, so they're going to have to pick it up and get going. Going to need a little help. Then you see it's everybody's still just whole pack still nose to tail right now. 4. They went from side by side to just riding right now. I think at this point, most drivers have seen what they've got. They kind of know what they can do, what they can't do. Now it's a matter of getting set up right to, with who you want to get set up with to get to the end here so that you can utilize all that knowledge you acquired during the earlier of the race.
Yeah, we talked about it being a team game. I want to say pit stops is the biggest part of the team game. Get everybody collected as close as you can. Figure out, hey, where's your fuel at? When do you need to go in? Make it a consistent as we see pit stops starting.
Most of the fuel coming down. The fuel going to stay out, but most of them you don't want to.
Big lock up.
Do what they do. I don't know if they take tires. Oh.
I'm not sure either, and I want to say,
whoa!
You
don't see that often. Wow. Oh, and Remy overshot. But they do take tires. Okay.
Now, that small little wreck might break the pack up a little bit. Not exactly sure how much it's going to affect them. And here we go. A little bit. Try to get single file at the best you can as soon as you can.
Second
the
pack
rest of the
in.
front coming in. A lot more orderly, smaller pack.
They take tires. Car's not. Tucker. Tucker's not taking tires.
Well, the other car is taking tires.
Yeah,
See
car
them
did.
going up
Alex's
on the
car
track?
did. Gonna bring Tucker out here. He's gonna be all alone. Little miscommunication maybe on pit road right there between some of those guys. I think it'll be too far. They'll be able to.
No, the main question I want to ask is that first pack that pitted, where are they going to be? Are they? I think I can hear them just a little bit.
Right there. Right there. Remy. I'm gonna blow right by him. This will split the field a little bit. I think they might end up getting back together though. It all depends on how much that front lane stays single file. If it stays single file, it'll be tough for the other ones to get, closed back up. Oh, Remy right there. Well, Tucker, that's a teammate. Okay. We helped Tucker out really there by not going around him.
You might have seen it that Tucker was a little maybe fast enough to just kind of pick up, but obviously not as Remy stacked up. Sumter immediately went up to the top, and now Remy's right up there with him. But now Tucker's up to speed. He's got Holloman behind him.
I mean, as far as you got to go back in around about the 23rd spot where you're really split up or anything. For the most, about the 20th right here. Actually, Maines really got caught on that one. You see him way back here. He's going to have his work cut out. He's probably going to need a caution. This is not where Maines wants to be. Yes, he's got
you called
three
it
cars.
when we were on pit road.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He got caught right there, and these 5 drivers are going to have to hook up and stay single file. They're going to have to hope that this front pack here goes double file, does not get into a big long line again. If so, it's going to be a very uphill battle for these 5 to catch them. Let's look, because they are 6 seconds back, and right now it's 5.8 seconds. And we'll follow along here just to see time-wise. Front pack right now is running about 50.05, 49.7 for the front ones. Let's see, they're running right now. We'll wait till they cross the line. We're going to an update here. Who that is that just jumped off out of the pack there?
It's Jurgensen, I believe.
And when they crossed the line, they ran a 50.08, 50.11. Yeah, 50-40. Okay, they ran 50-40s to 49. See, that's what I'm saying. That they do not want to see this right here. Wes, they do not want to see this whole pack up here all in a line, because that's, if they get double file up here, yes, but as long as they say single file, these guys right here that are like 5.9 seconds back, they're just not going to catch them. And this goes back to what I was talking about before. In real life, this is realistic. This is how the draft works. 4 cars are not as fast as 10 or 15 in a line, that is. Now, side by side is different, but in a single line. And we're seeing it right here. They're 49s up front. They're running 50.09s here. Now, they're about a tenth and a half, around about a tenth off from the leaders, but that is, unfortunately, that's draft racing right there.
And I'm not exactly sure how fast that front group is going, but watching on board here with Connor Henry, sitting third in this smaller group, he's going about 191. So
absolutely, man, right now, and you see him out front. Just unfortunate Maines got back there along with Henry, but all Remy up front right now got this pack, and there's not much that they can do for their teammate back there. I mean, I know they probably feel for Maines, But, you know, they can't back up and go catch him. They can't do anything. They've just got to pretty much concentrate on what they're doing. And right now, keep this line going up front and do what they're doing. I mean, and that's Haynes has got to hope for a caution. Not saying there won't be one, and we can't see one. He doesn't want to be it. I want to get caught up in it. He'd love to probably see something out there. Got you know, and that's what I wanted to see with the green flag stops too. By the way, Wes, you know, sometimes green flag stops can really mess some things up.
It definitely can. That's why I was talking about how big of a pack do you come with. We saw that first pack; it was massive, about half the field or so, maybe more. And there was a lot of tire sliding going in, which is why I think they might have decided to take tires there. There was a lot of people that slid their tires and locked them up. And then you said during the pit stops, you thought Remy overshot. I think it was actually Maines. That's why he's so far behind. And with that second smaller group was he slid too far through his box and had to back it up into it.
Yeah, and I talk about mental mistakes a lot. You know, on oval racing, there's not a lot of places to make them. Pit road is probably the number one place. We even see it on real racing here. Now, here will benefit Maines and them if they go side by side and stay this way for a while. But pit road is won or lost for a lot of races, even in real life. And, you know, go back and just kind of go on the yeah, now, I mean, the Maines and them would love to see these guys up here get side by side, start racing each other really tough. And go back here. Yep, right there you saw it. Maines, he had about that slight little mishap right there, folks. Right there it was. You saw it. That right there cost Maines a ton of time. That little bit of slip, that little bit of mess up on the track. Yeah, I call them mental mistakes. You know, there's other things obviously here on the track that they can, but pit road is the number one. Now, good news is these guys get side by side racing. It could help these guys back here a little bit.
Well, now they've dropped from 4 cars to 3, so it might be a little bit tougher.
Yeah. It ought to be depending on how much it slows this top pack down. Right now, that's the last time they ran 47.7. Unfortunately, the 50-50 or 50-47, they're almost a half second. Yeah. Just have to see how much it really slows this front pack down.
You talked about pit lane being the biggest part for mistakes on an oval. Talladega and Daytona here are especially tricky because you're full speed around this track. You're basically open throttle. Mm-hmm. And pit lane is so much slower. It's 55 miles an hour down pit lane. And they're still full throttle coming off of 4. So you gotta push your entry, but you push it too far, you're gonna lock up your brakes. You might hit somebody and spin them out going into pit road. Or you get caught for speeding, which gives you even a bigger penalty, at least time-wise.
And on the flip side of that, one of the good things, if there is a good side to it, is you've got a lot of runoff here, too, to get on pit road. I suppose like some tracks, I think we said a couple weeks ago, they were having some issues, you know, getting on and off pit road because it was just such a tight turn.
Yeah, and that runoff definitely helps out. You see the cars, they'll fan out, try to not be directly behind someone, so they know their braking points. I would think they'd practice a specific line they'd take in, that way they know where to brake so that they don't run over everyone.
Absolutely. Highline's trying to come to life up top there at 26 now. It looks like he's gotten a lot of the damage taken care of. He's still slightly punched in a little bit. But it looks like they've been trying to bang that front end out every time they've went into pit road, and it's helped a lot. The more they do that, it seems like it's helping him a little bit better now. He's not falling back as much as he was.
Not as much as he was, but still, I would want somebody in front of me if I was a 26. You're not quite clearly the best car to pull. Probably a really good car to push, to be honest, because your nose is flattened a good bit, so you're able to square up on the rear bumper of someone and give them a nice shove down the backstretch.
Right now, looking strong. Remy's up front with him right there, along with Sumter, Tucker, Holloman, Duncan. High side's coming to life there with Hammonds.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you want to see as the 26. Somebody get in front of you. Give them someone with less front end damage. Hopefully, you want it to be none on preferred.
Well, let's say Westwood got up there.
Get somebody in front of you. Now you just push them around this track. Get that outside moving.
Yeah. And we've seen the 26 machine there at Hammonds all night long. Been a very good pusher. I mean, he's been able to push several cars to that front. .23 to go in this one, though. Been a good solid one so far. Sumter right now is the top man in the Fast Five, but you got another one there. The other one is going to be...
That's Holloman sitting in fourth.
Holloman, yeah. He's up 17 spots.
And Joe, I don't want to say anything, but I think we still got a pit stop left.
Well, they pitted at 104. So
before that was 68.
24. And that was what, about 32 laps or so. So yeah, 114, 124, 134. Ooh, that's 36 laps.
It might be doable, but it will be close.
Yeah, and then you got to think about green, white, checker. You know, if you do get a caution, green, white, checker throws in there. That's now that might be where. Go back to this pack back here. Save fuel. I mean, you're already not going to catch the front. To save fuel. I mean, obviously you can if you're riding behind. Remy's not saving anything being out front. He's wide open. No way he can to get run over. But if you're a guy maybe like Holloman here, I'm sitting in that fourth place spot, that 31 and the 32 machine right there in front of him. Those two save a little fuel. Can they save enough? I'm with you there. That's awful close. I mean, we've seen them go, it was lap 60, 68.
68 to 104. You're looking at 38 laps there.
Yeah, they went. Green, white, checker would be the thing that they'd have to. I mean, obviously there's a caution between here and now.
Everyone's golden.
Everywhere's going, yeah. Green, white, checkered caution. You might see somebody in the back stay out. I don't know.
And I know
that
you
one
were
still
talking
would be
about
tough.
I know you were talking about that second pack. You're not going to catch these guys up front. Save some fuel. They ain't saving. They're pushing.
Yeah. Just as much as they're pushing, they're still just not. I mean, they're only running 50-32s to 49-60. I mean, they're almost a second. They're losing a lot of time.
So
they're praying for a caution. Praying for that caution.
Off of this dash I got looking at Connor Henry, and I'm going to give him a massive shout out for this. He's letting me see some stuff that us up here in the box we ain't going to see necessarily. He's got about 23 laps of fuel, so they might be able to do one green, white, checkered. Maybe not two.
Yeah. And even with that fuel runs off. But that goes back to two. You're looking at that second pack, and that's what I was talking about. They're not running the speed as that front pack. Could they be saving some? Could those three just be driving? I know you said no, they're running wide open. But I mean, running wide open here really, I mean, you're always wide open, so to speak. I don't know how you save fuel at this place. I mean, how would you save? You gotta pretty much stay to the floor. It ain't
Stay in the pack. You don't want to be at least in the front of a line. You maybe not the first three cars in a line. and you're not going to be full throttle. You're going to be off at probably about 80% throttle, and that's how you save just a little bit of fuel, but it ain't a lot, to be honest.
%80 fuel, 80% throttle.
That's what I guess.
On off throttle, ain't it?
I mean, you also got a draft in front of you carrying you forward.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, hey, well, let's see if we can maybe try to. I mean, the RPM gauge there will tell us a lot. He's planted to the floor there. You see it jumping. That means he's getting on and off the throttle a little bit, but. I don't really like the digital dashes. They're just so hard to read. I like
just
with the
little bit.
I like the telltale ones, man, where you can see the needle and you know where it's at.
Really, it's that small green mark just above where you see 210. That's what I'm right there where it says 210. That's what I'm looking at. That little green mark, that's about, I wanted to say not quite full throttle. You're probably about 99% right there.
8,000 RPMs. 8,100 RPMs. All right, so he's at that. Maine's at 81 also. So just to give you an idea then, he's at 81 and all, and you know he's wide open. There's no way he can.
There's no saving for Sumter. Leading the pack, you don't want to be off throttle.
So it looks like 300 RPMs is the difference between Sumter and a guy back here, which obviously he can't be wide open and run over the guy in front of him. Somewhere between 200 to 300 RPMs is what it's looking like.
If you go even further in the back, you might see even more of a difference. It's typically the further back you are, the less you are. But not quite here.
I wonder what they're hollering. Oh, there is. About as far back as we can go before you get into that second pack. That's back around 12th place spot.
Oh, movement up there on the top side.
Yeah, so I mean, some guys been saving. Can they save enough? That's going to be the question here. It's going to be close. I'm with you. Is it close enough for the guys to be worried? I mean, right now, Remy going to the front, obviously he's not saving anything by making moves like this. So they might be already in their head going, you know what? We either got enough to do it and it goes green, or we're planning to come in anyways and do a splash and go. That's the only two options I see them as of right now. Because they're racing like we're not saving nothing.
No, go green is the best case scenario. Then you don't got to worry about that green-white checkered. And like we said, they can probably do one more green-white checkered. It's going beyond a single that I'd be worried about.
Yeah. Whew. Up to right now up top. If we can't, or he's out front trying to see if we can't get this going. Remy's the man up top right now. Westwood, Holloman, Hammonds, Duncan. A high line. Pushing like ever. Just side by side. At this point, though, you're thinking about, okay, I want to get with the person that I want to get with. I want to get with a teammate. I want to get with somebody I know that I can either ride behind or they're behind me and, we're well off working together. I want to put myself in that position. And then obviously, in the back of the mind, they're going to be thinking about that fuel too.
Yeah, fuel's just a little bit an afterthought. I think these guys, they're hoping it goes green all the way. I hope it goes green all the way. They're wanting to go green, and you're looking for somebody you can trust. Now, white flag, all the gloves are off. It's free for all.
Yeah.
I want to say at that point.
Yeah, I always like saying, man, it doesn't matter the whole field. Whoever makes it back to the front at that point, it's all fair and love and racing. You're coming out, white, like say the checkered flag out of 4. Sumter's there to the low side. Tucker's along with him. Remy has been a man up front on a mission all race long. Can he pull this miracle off here tonight? It definitely would be a wild one for him if he could. Tires definitely are not an issue because most everyone took tires. Now still Sumter. Tucker, Holloman, Duncan. At this mid-pack right here, about 8th place spot. That's where they're side by side at. We were talking about that back one right here with Salter, Henry, and Maines. Unfortunately, that's a lonely feeling back there. There's nothing you can do. You're just riding. You can't catch that pack, and you're like, Somebody throw a hot dog wrapper.
Someone throw a hot dog wrapper, somebody blow up, somebody spin. But if I'm sitting back there, it's just 3 of us. I'd find a way to talk to him. Just start having a conversation on a nice Sunday drive.
Yeah, I mean, and that's unfortunately what they're doing. I mean, they just got caught. Bad pit stop, bad timing, got them caught back. They're 21 seconds now. If they keep going at this pace, they'll go a lap down in this race. And then it'll be a battle of who's going to get the lucky dog at that point. That's what Maines definitely don't want to get into, because then if there's a caution, and that's worst case scenario is if they all go a lap down. And then a caution comes out, and then your Maines back there probably going, you got to be kidding me. Not what I want to see. Side by side up front.
We're talking about the race up front here. You've got Remy on the outside, Sumter on the inside. It's a 2-horse race for this Fast 5. It's Holloman versus Sumter. They're the only 2 up there that have not had any trouble today. Or if they have, it's just been very little. So it's head-to-head for these 2. The other 3 are out of contention.
I'm rooting for Remy. I root for anybody, but to me, he's the underdog of this race. Really, not to say that he's an underdog, but to persevere over what he's had, and I don't want to jinx him, and I probably had just with the broadcaster jinx, but just to persevere on what he's went through, to me, to get a top 5 out of this would be like a win. You still got Sumter there. You just got a lot of fast guys up front right now. We've seen it all race long. In that whole pack right there, man, Wes, it really would be hard to pick a winner because they've all been up front. They've all been fast.
It is hard to pick a winner. I want to say,
whoa,
massive shove.
Westwood's probably going, all right now, I'm down.
Westwood had a handful there. But getting back to what I was about to say right before we saw that, I'd want to put it on Sumter. Sumter's been up front all the race, whether he was first or second. He's been one of the top dogs. I think Sumter's might have something up his sleeve, a plan forming in his mind for this last lap.
Yeah. And you said it right. Last lap, got to have a plan, got to be in the right place at the right time. Traffic up here can play a little factor. Like I said, they're going to catch those guys up here, unfortunately. Got something in there. You got Westwood, Holloman, Duncan. Going to catch a slew of lap traffic here.
Latham going up high. He knows he's not in the draft of any one state. Out of their way the best he can.
Job on his end there. Now the next pack they catch is where I'm going to look at, because they won't just blow by all these cars, and they're going to get stuck in the middle of this pack. And when it goes back to that conversation we had a little earlier in the race, where you're getting to the point of where it's a little late for lap traffic to try to race these guys up here. No, they want to, but at some point, all right, fellas, y'all, especially like Remy, if he gets caught behind some lap cars up on that high side, Remy's going to be like, all right, great. For maybe the next lap or so, I'm good. But by the time they catch them, it's going to be probably about 2 to go.
And that lap traffic in front of them, they're not single file, they're 2x2 as well. So not exactly a clear line to go.
Not what you want to see. High line, low line, maybe Westwood. Now here's where something might think, and I pick one of these. I think this right here might actually. Now if I am these lap cars, I'll tell you what. The leader, he said, you know what? Forget about it. I'm just going to go in the middle.
Maybe a smart move there. He had the run. They're only three car and then a 2-car pack. Now they're going to
don't go down too soon. Now I think he messed up. Oh, Westwood messed up, and there's the wrecking. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, man. Might happen. And Remy got involved, but Remy went off the track way back in the back. He was able to hold on to that machine. Wow. He got damaged, though. Man, Remy came from the back, got up there, but then got caught up, man, in lap traffic. Ouch.
It's just unfortunate to see, and I would not put that on the lap cars. They held their lines. They were in 2 different packs. One at the very top, one at the very bottom.
Man, we go back and see what happened here. I really wasn't watching it. Just going to give an idea what happened here. Wide right there. Jimmy there. He goes up high. He gets hit in the back. And just kind of
just a bit of a bad push from his teammate in the 26.
Not a place you want to be, but man, good run all night long. Right there, man. I told you I jinxed him.
And look at that. The lap traffic's also jumbled it up. Now it's Holloman's in front of Sumter for the Fast 5.
Yep. Got Tucker out front. Westwood there with him. Holloman, like you said, sitting in third. Whew. Crazy up front so far.
That's one thing about lap traffic. They can change it. Now if you're Holloman here, block the 52. It's you versus him. Not going to do it a little bit too much hesitation.
Now what is the 52? Who is that? That's Sumter. Okay. What does Tucker got enough? I'm telling 92. Push.
Push indeed. Sumter's already cleared the 8 car.
Oh! Far around.
Caution, yellow flag.
And if he remains, that's what you wanted to see.
Wow.
I don't think Holloman's got enough damage there. His tires are definitely going to be a little bit upset, but his car should be fine. He should be able to get back in the race.
Almost like a bump draft going wrong. Looks like the one car was heading on pit road. They just got together. Got damaged. 32 right there. Yeah, it looked like he was on pit road and he just couldn't get slowed up. That was running behind. Nothing he could do.
Don't know if Holloman was going to pit road. I know for sure the 92 was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was going there to pit road and Holloman was trying to get out of the way and just you know and I know, closing speed here. So fast.
It's really fast.
There's your green, white checkered.
That's the green, white checkered. Now this is where the boys are going to be in a little bit of a pickle. Hope it's only this one.
Ooh. Yeah. I always like doing this. Going cockpit view. Yes, he's saving fuel right there.
I will say, if it goes beyond this one, they might be able to do 2 as long as they do a good bit of fuel saving here. If it goes to 3, I want to say Holloman might be the best one situated. If spinning out like that, go get a pair of fresh tires, go get gas.
Well, everybody's saving fuel. You can see them. They're in a high gear to keep those RPMs way down low to save fuel. Nobody's clutching, though. Which, now, correct me if I'm wrong. These have, I know they have sequential gears. transmission zone. My knowledge, they still have a clutch.
They do. The clutch is there, but it just ain't used.
But okay. But what I'm trying to figure out, and the reason is because I'm a little confused on the. I know how sequential works, obviously, up, down, blah, blah, blah. But once it's going, you don't use the clutch in that thing. It only is used when you're in first gear to take off. That's about the only time it's ever used. So if they hit the clutch in this car right now, will it cut the car off? That's kind of what I'm getting at. Or will it mess it up? I'm
not entirely
that
sure.
You trying to see what I'm saying is I don't I know sequential. It's not like paddle shifted where they don't have a clutch in those paddle shift, but sequential you do. But it's the only time you ever use that clutch, folks, is when you're dead stopped at first. You're in first. You pop the clutch, you go, and then from there it's just click, 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 click. But I don't know if once these guys are going, if they so still okay. So you still can't work it as a clutch. Okay, and that's where I was a little confused as how the sequentials they have them set up. Do they have them set up as kind of like a semi-automatic, like a clutchless automatic, basically, or whatever? I mean, there's so many variables out there. Okay, so you still can use them for all of them. It's just not needed. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, sequential, you don't need the clutch. I mean, 'cause that's sequential. Okay, it's what I need. That's what I was wondering. So they could theoretically right now, while they're rolling, hit the clutch. Obviously, they're just running in fifth gear, which is another change in the next gen cars. You know this, Wesley, is they went to 5 gears instead of used to be the old 4. Guess now is, did they save enough fuel?
That would indeed be the question. And Grutzmacher along as well, informing us about the
that's what I was reading out there.
Also said, yeah, he thinks the 92 blew up. If that is the case.
Either way, he was going on pit road. And yeah, I mean, the closing rate's so bad there. That's bad. You'd be clutching. Me too. I'm with you on that one, bad. Well, what do you think here, Wes?
I don't know. That inside line, they've just been able to hook it up real well on every restart. And Sumter's got Vincent right behind him. That's a teammate. That's somebody, or no, that's not Vincent. That's Tucker right behind him. Hard to read the number at that angle. Sumter still, I'd lean onto the 8, get him to push you as much as you can. The 31, he's been up here a little bit, not much talked about, I would say.
Yeah, they always say, and I've always went on the old thing is, I would not want to be the car out front coming to the last lap. Usually probably around third or fourth or whatnot, depending on. I mean, now if you're boxed in like you are right now, there's nothing you can do. Tucker can't do anything other than say Sumter, hang on, I'm about to knock your rear back bumper to your front because I'm gonna push you so hard. Now Mattel, green white checkered attempt number 1. Here we go. Pace cars in. Talladega here tonight. Spartan Simracing. Been a solid one here, but can Sumter, man, pull this thing off, or does somebody else got a Hail Mary out here? Out the tail. Green flag, back racing.
Great jump by Sumter there. Tucker almost cleared on the bottom line. Nobody's really put up together quite yet. Woo, massive dive by the 31 to the bottom.
Yeah, right
Top
now.
4 all single file.
And this is what I don't know if this is what Sumter wants to see or not, because that gives room for all those drivers behind him to jump up to the high side, and you see it right there. You already see a couple of them coming. Who was that jumped up to the high side? It's the 26.
26.
Man, I'm going to tell you what, Hammonds. Is that damage going to play a factor, though? You can see it right there. I think it might. But still, you've got Tucker might think about it going, Hammonds pushed all night. I can get him close enough. Sumter, you're a good guy, but I might have to go with you.
And I just want to say, look at the third car on the outside. Somebody we thought might have been out of it. Maines is there again.
Yeah, it is right now. Well, white flag won't matter. One more time. Does Sumter got enough to hold these guys off, or do you got a pack behind him that can get going? I don't think Hammonds has got enough oomph to bring that high side, so he's going to need some help. And these guys are going to have to form it up now because those top two, as long as they're where they're at, yeah, it's over.
And gloves are off. You're allowed to block as you want now. It's the white flag, so
oh, they got to run. Here we go. 31. He's got damage. I don't know if he's got enough to push it past him. Yeah, not to pass him. He's just got to get his nose out front. They're coming 4 wide to the line. Duncan's there, but Sumter's back. Duncan hits him.
3 wide across the line.
Wow. Sumter won it. Gotta go back and watch that again. That was crazy. That was crazy.
And that is a finish I love to see.
Yeah, let's go back and watch that again from a. Whew. This was a checker coming in at turn 3 and 4. One more time. Sumter for a moment thought he didn't have it. You see the man on the top side. Tucker's down low. Tucker had no. Just push it there. They were coming to the line. Through the tri-oval.
Look at all that carnage.
Now, the question's going to be, Sumter went below the yellow line. And made the pass. Yeah, that might be something they might look at.
I just want to get a freeze rim right here.
Oh,
at the line.
Yeah. There you go. That's it right there.
He's got the fender out front.
He's got the fender.
Almost
He does.
the whole wheel.
Yeah. But let's go back to the part where I was talking right here. And again, I'm not race control, but, hey, look, we got to bring the drama. He goes below the yellow line, and that isn't out of bounds. He did not give his position back.
I want to say he kept 2 wheels on the track. It's very close.
No,
That's
he
a
went
fine
below
margin.
Really, Wes?
I think he kept 2 tires on the track.
It doesn't matter. You can't go below it at all. In real racing, you cannot take 2 tires below the yellow line. That's the rule. Now, I'm not sure here. And again, I'm not race control, and I'm not getting into that. Look, we're going to say unofficially right now, it's Sumter until they call it. But, look, again, we always got to bring the drama up. Hey, look, you got to have the excitement and thrill out there. So we'll definitely look up a bit. Man, what a finish to this one, though. Man, it was awesome.
It definitely was amazing. This is what I love Talladega with. It's always great finishes if you can get it right. Yes. Tucker, he was almost pinned to the bottom. Ooh. He had to force his way to that middle.
Tucker and Sumter. Man, what a race. What a race. Find it, man, folks. Well, there's Tucker. Bring Tucker up and let's get a word with him on look for the other one.
Hey, Tucker, it's Joe and Wesley up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, what was that finish? That's what I want to start with. You were second on the inside line, almost trapped there, and you had to kind of force your way into the middle.
I don't know. All I know is I was blowing up. That's all I know.
Blow it up and still made it so close. Sumter had the whole nose of the car essentially out in front, but still, what a finish, what a drive. On that last restart, we were talking about if there was going to be a strategy call about how hard you were going to push, if you were going to let off and try to get a run. Coming out of 4 to the white flag, what was your thoughts?
I was just going to push Jeremy. There was nothing I could have done. I had center punch damage other than at least try to side draft him off of 4. I mean, last year I won this race by side drafting the guy down the back stretch, but I wasn't going to get that crazy of a run going down the back stretch with me on his rear. So I just stayed committed to him. And it played out in the end. I mean, I thought we tied, but looking at the screenshot, we didn't. It's kind of disappointing that I wanted to tie with him, but just wish we could have got one spot better.
Hey, second place, I'd take it any day, especially coming up 24 places through the field. Qualified towards the back, we talked about it here before the race started. Qualifying is more bragging rights for a drafting style track. You get your runs, you take them, and work your way slowly to the front. That's exactly what you did.
I mean, at the end, when the green flag pit stops actually happened, I thought they were just going to go around me and I was just going to be 17th in line, but Diego was kind of nice and just let me have the lead of the line, and then they both just passed me and I stayed committed with them, but they pitted before me, and then when I went in with my group of guys, they never came out with me. I was just hoping I could maintain track position because, like I was telling my teammate Gary, track position will matter here at the end, and it surely did.
That it did. Joe, you got something for him?
Heck of a finish there, man, at that end. Like I said, you never know, man. Don't give up here at Talladega.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I thought I was cooked coming off of 4 until Jonathan was nice enough to try to let me up, and then it worked. Then I side drafted. That didn't work. I just tried everything I could.
Awesome run for you tonight, man.
Thank you.
Yo, man, that's old Michael Tucker, man, right there. Like I said, he came home in third. Man, right here, though, man, Duncan brought her home, man, in a second. Let's get a word with him.
Hey, Duncan, it's Wesley and Joe up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, what's going on, guys?
Nothing much. That finish, that's the main thing I want to talk about. It was exciting. Come after the white flag, gloves are off, take runs as you wish, block as you wish. And you started that final restart. You were the first car up high, and as soon as you could, you went down low to just follow the 2 ahead of you.
Yeah, the top line just didn't get a good start, and it seemed like me and the guy in third got pretty good start. So I just hopped down behind him and kind of kept the momentum up. But yeah, it was insane. I didn't realize we were 3 wide. I knew we were 2. But I didn't even realize that Jeremy was underneath there at the bottom. So it's crazy.
It was coming off of 4. Originally, y'all were 2 wide. I will say that. And then Tucker kind of muscled you up there a little bit into the 3rd lane.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's part of it. It's just racing for the win, you know. I did everything I could to get a side draft off of him, but I think he was side drafting off the 52, and it was just, we were kind of just canceling each other out. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, it is what it is. I wasn't upset about that. I did feel like he kind of bumped me up there, but I mean, like I said, that's just racing at Talladega.
Well, racing at Talladega it's a good track. It's a long one for sure. I feel like there was at least one point where you're like, man, I'm getting sore. I need this to be over.
Yeah, I told one of my teammates in the chat, I was like, I'm going to have to ice my shoulder after this. This is crazy.
Well, hey, 3rd place ain't nothing to scoff about, especially on a finish like that. Joe, you got something for him?
Man, came home tonight. They had a good one there. Like I said, man, just coming to the line and thriller. That's about all I can say. Thriller.
Yeah, it was a fun one. That's my first race in this league, so hopefully a lot more exciting things to come.
Yo, man, that's old Jonathan, man. Like you said, bring him home 3rd, but this guy here, man, held him off. Jeremy, Joy in the booth, got a copy?
Copy.
Well, man, you came to the line. What was your feeling coming out of 4, man, on that last lap?
Just a little bit of fear, honestly. You know, it's Talladega. People get wild at the end. People want to throw blocks, and I thought we were going to wreck. But, you know, there's a little teamwork between guys up front, promising not to do anything, and we all held our word and crossed it clean.
You know, and you talked about that teamwork, and something me and Wesley talked about pretty much the whole entire race is team. Take us through a little bit of the team strategy there, because y'all used it quite well all race long.
It was just getting us together and, you know, pinpointing our fuel stops, opening up spots for us, you know, whatever we could do to try to group us together. But there at the end, I think it was one of them cautions, and it just split us all up.
Hey, definitely split up or not, you got up front, man. Wes, it was a good one, wasn't it?
Oh, it definitely was, and it was that green flag pit stop we noticed. Maines slid into his box a little bit too far, had to back up, and lost the rest of y'all. Was there conversations about how he was, about any way of trying to get him back up there to the front with y'all, or just push on forward?
It got brought up, but it would also give everyone else, you know, an opportunity to pull a line on us. So it was kind of let one go to let the rest, you know, do better.
That's an unfortunate moment. Pushed forward without a soldier, and you and Maines were working so good, whether it was you pushing him or him pushing you.
Yeah.
And that tandem seemed really strong. But, you know, you still came away with the win in the race. Not only that, you also won the Fast Five today. So that's also got to be even better on you coming after this
Feels
race.
good. Feels good. Feels good to finally get a win. I've had a really fast car. Team Watson always does a good one. And I've just had unfortunate, you know, mistakes happen each race. So finally to end one at a Talladega, no less. Good. Feels really good.
Anybody want to thank?
Of course. Brandon Bikey, Kenny Coppola, and Team Watson. You know, I've been with them forever, and they've never done me wrong. Always got me where I got to go. So, and the rest of my team and you guys for putting this on. It's been a good league. So.
There you go, man. Tonight, there's old Jeremy Sumner putting it in victory lane. Well, let's look at the results order here tonight. Just a typical man Talladega race. So the thriller to the end. Sumter there, man, by inches coming to the line, winning it there with Tucker in second. And Duncan holding it up there in Duncan, holding it there in third. Windsor there in the fourth place though, man. Holloman, he ended up in fifth. Maines was able to fire back though, man, and get there in sixth. We got Vincent up there in the seventh. The Gerlach finishing eighth. Henry there in ninth. Old Charles Van Scoort coming home there in the 10th place spot. Gardner in 11th. Man Salter in 12th. Rest of this field here, some guys having a good night here tonight, Wes. Some, not so much.
Yeah, not so much. There were some sad moments. You really want to talk about a bad moment you had, and we talked about it all, at least for the last half of the race. Remy started with a drive-through penalty, went a lap down, got back to the lead lap, was in there all the way up to the front, and then, he didn't do bad. 13th. He came home in 13th, but he fell back like a stone at one point and just not quite up there where he probably wanted to be.
Well, man, I tell you what, it's always a thriller. Talladega, folks. Man, we're going to leave it here tonight with Sumter there, man, coming in victory lane. That was a wild one there to the end. But for the Spartan Simracing League Master Series and everyone out there watching, have a good rest of the night.